Hello everyone, welcome to In the Trenches, Kroll's weekly threat intelligence briefing. Today is July 7th. My name is Ryan Hicks, and presenting with me today is Dave Truman. If you have any questions or comments about any of the topics we're covering today, please get in touch with us using cti@kroll.com. So for this week, I'll be covering RecipeLister, Adware, and Backdoor that we've observed recently, FileFix now being exploited in the wilds, an alert on by US agencies on Iranian cyber actors, and a critical Sudo vulnerability. And Dave will be covering KTA 405 activities, as well as an update on North Korean IT workers campaign. Then last of all, I'll just round off looking at DevMan ransomware. So to start off, just an overview really of the RecipeLister campaign that we've seen recently affecting a high volume of customers across a varied amount of sectors, and that's due to its nature of being a drive-by compromise initial access campaign. To begin the compromise, the victim will come across an advert for a recipe or calorie counting tool, typically on an article promoting a similar topic, so it just kind of pops up somewhere in the article itself. Clicking on the advert initiated the download of an archive file that had the recipe application in it. So the interface that you see on the bottom left there was the application that was installed for the user. Soon after installation, the application made repeated network connections to suspicious and poorly reputable IP addresses, of which the shortlist is in the weekly report itself. And in a few cases, our SOC did observe the application tampering with Google Chrome settings, changing the new tab URL address to the website on the bottom right there. And that website appears to be a simple web page with search engine functionality containing a variety of adverts for well-known brands, as you see. And using the search or clicking on any of the links does appear to correctly redirect users to a legitimate website or legitimate search as expected. Therefore, that kind of aspect appears to be sort of simple or traditional adware behavior. There was, however, kind of third-party reporting also noting that the application later showed signs of information stealer type behaviors, including stealing browser-stored credentials. And this, alongside our observations of attempts to set up command and control, suggests that this could, in fact, kind of be classed as a backdoor, not just adware. So in this case, the payload or the kind of intent appears to primarily be adware. However, the payload or anything after that could easily be changed and adapted by the actor to suit their intents. So could potentially have been a lot worse than we kind of observed for this whole campaign. The weekly report does have kind of more information. This is just kind of an overview, and the IOCs have also been redistributed into the IOC feeds for existing customers. And recommendations-wise, recommend that all applications are only made available to install through known binary repositories and also vetted by security staff. Next up, just a few stories to highlight. So firstly, we reported on FileFix last week, which is a new technique similar to ClickFix and ClearFake, hence the name. And our update this week is that it appears to have been used in the wild, affecting multiple industries. Again, it's kind of more the drive-by compromise, and this really just shows the speed at which these techniques are being turned around from researchers' articles. Malicious JavaScript was injected into legitimate but compromised websites, again akin to what we have seen with ClearFake a lot recently. And there are also reports on variations of this where the victim is convinced into downloading a file which bypasses mark of the web. So that's kind of come back. So we're looking to kind of continue tracking this technique, and we'll provide any updates as we see. And second here, US government agencies have released an alert strongly urging organizations classed as critical national infrastructure to remain vigilant to ongoing threats from Iranian cyber actors. They note the actors focus on defense contractors, as well as critical infrastructure, including water, energy, and public health. And there was also a warning of the potential sabotage to industrial control systems that they mentioned in the report. So certainly highly recommend any organizations falling within that kind of mentioned categories to seek guidance from that full agency report. So kind of a lot of mitigations and recommendations that they provide in there. And in vulnerability news, just want to share this week, this affects Sudo. The vulnerability has a CVSS of 9.3, which is critical. The affected versions are on the top there, and confirms exploitable on several Linux distributions. However, could potentially affect wider with sort of further testing. So importantly, this would be part of a post-compromise activity, so it's not kind of an initial access, but the actor would have an account already. So this is a local attacker. They could construct a malicious chroot command, and that forces Sudo to load libraries as root, effectively bypassing authentication, as the compromised user account that they would have had access to does not need to be in the sudo as file. So it's essentially kind of a bypass for that. A proof of concept exploit has been made available online, but no kind of current reported exploitation in the wild as of yet. So you just recommend to apply patches to any of the affected versions you see there. For now, I'll hand over to Dave.
Thank you. There are two quick pieces of further information. One of them is the Chinese-speaking espionage-focused threat actor KTA405, aka Silverfox, has been observed targeting citizens of Taiwan with malware lures in the form of malicious DeepSeek large language model software installers. The malicious installers install the SaneBox remote access tool alongside the legitimate software. SaneBox is a variant of the open source malware GhostRat. The second piece of information is that Microsoft has stated that they are aware that North Korean threat actors are using AI to aid them in their insertion of workers into Fortune 500 companies with the goal of accessing sensitive information and obtaining funds. This comes alongside the US Justice Department's recent distribution of a North Korean employment scheme where 4 North Korean citizens used fake identities to steal over $900,000 worth of cryptocurrency. Thank you. Ryan?
Thanks, Dave. So to round us off, kind of the ransomware roundup, just looking at DevMan ransomware. So this is a new ransomware sample that was analyzed by Iran. It appears to be a variant on the previous DragonForce samples. It uses old techniques from Conti ransomware, which DragonForce itself did inherit, so kind of following a chain there. And the kind of commonality there is through the use of Windows Restart Manager, using that for file lock evasion as well as for persistence. And during the encryption phase, DevMan attempts to probe any SMB shared folders that it can look to spread to maximize the potential impact there. It does have multiple encryption methods, including header-only encryption for speed when compared to encrypting the entire contents of the file. Notably here, the familiar DragonForce ransomware cartel ransomware note is dropped to disk. However, the leak site that's on the note is not DragonForce itself that we know. And this makes the sample likely from a DragonForce affiliate, as their ransomware as a service terms alludes to the fact that affiliates can create variations of the ransomware, which appears to be the case here with DevMan. So we'll continue to track any techniques or seen in the wild for this ransomware. So that's all we have time for this week. If you have any questions, please remember to contact us at cti@kroll.com. Thank you for joining and see you next week.